Welcome all to today's video. We've got an Audi A5 B8. This is a 2-litre TFSI and we're doing a front brake pad change, as you can see by the title. So what I've got here today, I've got my toolkit, wide brush, copper grease, set of rubber vinyl gloves, electric ratchet, brake cleaner, some power tools. I've got some Brembo brake pads. I'll give you the part code for these. These are sourced from Euro car parts. We've got a spanner set. We've got some caliper spray, jack stand, wheel wrench, wheel chocks, and some axle stands. So firstly, what we're going to do is just ensure that our car handbrake is up, and we'll be lifting the car via this pinch weld over here, which you can see. So this is for the front, and then likewise for the back will be the exposed red paint, as this is a red car. So we'll be placing our jack stand around here, then placing the axle stand as soon as that's lifted. I'll show you that. Start off with, I've loosened all 5 bolts on our front wheel on both sides. I've gone just on the side on the pinch weld. I've placed my jack stand here and my axle stand adjacent to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower this now and complete the same on the other side whilst leaving the jack stand in. Okay, so now that we've exposed our brake caliper, what I'm going to do, just using a screwdriver, or if you have a pry bar even better, I'm going to wedge this in between our brake and caliper just to push our piston back. So this is a step you can avoid if you have a piston rewind tool, but as you see, made life a lot easier than reassembling the brake pads. Okay, so now that that is installed, we can remove our brake sensor, chuck that on the side, and then we're going to need a 13 and a 17mm bolt to remove those. Just on the back, as you can see, just next to the braided line, we've got a 13mm bolt here. So getting our ratchet in. Hope this is a better view for you guys. Just going to pop that on. That's our retaining screw right there. And also on the back, we have another 13mm bolt here on the bottom. So this will allow us to now remove this caliper, but obviously we have to take this retaining spring off, and then that can slide over. Okay, so now I'm going to remove this retaining pin. So it is essentially spring loaded, so it will have a lot of tension when you do release this. So just literally pop your screwdriver into there, like so. Okay, so now that that is out, we can essentially move our caliper away from the housing. So that is now removed, and again with a screwdriver you can pry out your pads. So that's our rear, and the front will be fitting our new brake sensor. There it is, yeah. So as you see, I've popped it out. You really can't get this wrong because the profile of the brake sensor, one side is square and one side is curved. Likewise on here, so square side on square side, curved side on curved side. Pop that in till you hear the click. We're going to bring this right back around over here behind our brake caliper. You'll see a metal clip around about here, which I'm just going to move the camera around so you can see. Okay, just trying to sort of get the right angle here. So as you see, there's a little arrow clip. We're going to pry this back onto. Okay, so now that is in, we're just going to pull this tab back and twist until it clicks into our hole. So, and as you see, that's not going anywhere, and that's ready for us to pull around back into the caliper. Okay, so that's our new brake sensor there. Okay, now we're going to reassemble our front brake pads. So what we're going to do is get our brake sensor out of the way. So as you see on the front brake pads that you get for the A5, they come with some 3M adhesive on the back. Because why not? Just making sure this is in the correct orientation. I'm going to pop that like so into our piston, and with our front pad we're also going to peel the sticky off that as well. So yeah, it's slightly difficult with gloves on. There we go. So this tab has to go into this hole over here. So drop that in and ensure that it's flush. And now we're going to slide this onto our caliper. Okay, so I'm just going to move the orientation so you can see our pins are not sitting exactly. So what we have to do is just pinch back these bolts, and likewise pinch the one on the bottom, and that will allow it to slide on like so. And I'm just going to move the orientation back here so we can put our brake sensor in. So we're going to go around our bleed valve under this tab over here, and then pop this like so. So I hope you guys can see that well. So that's our brake sensor popped in, and then using the bolts provided in the Brembo kit, we are going to take these out, line these up with our holes, and we're going to hand tighten them through, ensuring that they're going in. Oh, hand tightened. So back again, using our 13mm, we're going to proceed to tighten these bolts. These have to be done to 45 Newton meters. Okay, now that these are tightened, I'm just going to do another coat of the painting, because we were painting these calipers, and once that's done we are going to put the wheels back on and lower the car. Okay, so we've installed all our brake pads onto the caliper. So prior to fitting our wheel back on, it's good practice to use a bit of copper grease and just line this hub here. Remember, you don't need an excessive amount, just a small amount. You want to apply that to the hub, and this will help with fitting on the wheel and also reduce any friction. And just on all these plates here as well, in between the bolts, so like so. Remember, you don't need a crazy amount. If you do get any on the disc, just use your brake cleaner and rub that off. Okay, so now we can fit our wheel on and apply the bolts in the reverse process.
Okay, so second to last step, we're going to get our wheel, and we'll have the correct orientation, we'll line it up with the 5 bolts on here, get them our wheel that's handy. So let's get this on. I'm just going to hand thread these on, and now I'm not going to use the gun gasket.
Right, final step, using a torque wrench. You want this on 120 Newton meters. We're going to proceed to tighten all 5 bolts until you hear the clicking sound. And we're all done.